Hey, I just want to talk a little bit about like how our brain affects our day, like how our brain talks to us and talks us out of things and probably prevents us from living the life that we really want a lot of times. So I took some notes because I listened to Mel Robbins, and she has a concept of the 5 4 3 2 1 5 second rule, is what they actually call it. Not the pick up food from the floor 5 second rule, but the brain, before the brain kicks in, 5 second rule. So she talked about how our brain has 5 seconds. There's 5 seconds of time in there before the brain realizes that, okay, I have to switch into this mode to protect. So, like, our brains were not wired to want us in situations that are scary, that make us nervous, that are uncomfortable. And so, what our brain does is try to protect us to keep us alive, really, basically. And so it stops us from doing these at all costs. So she talked about how in her presenting of this 5 second rule, how it has even saved people from committing suicide because they've done the countdown and decided, you know, this isn't really what I want in that time. Like they stopped themselves from doing something really bad. And like for me, I always forget to like use it, but this morning I was thinking about it, and I keep going back to this videos that she has out about this, so I know that it's like a sign, like telling me you have to start implementing that. But anyway, this morning I did that, and I had got up, and I like to read in the mornings. I try to read every day if I can. And so I was reading, I was comfortable in the chair, I was covered up with a blanket, and I knew I had things to do before I went to work, but I just, I didn't wanna, and I'm like on the verge of getting a cold, and so I'm tired. I wake up and I'm tired, and I know it's because I can feel this. I'm just like on the verge. So this morning though, when I didn't want to get up, I did the 5 4 3 2 1, and I got up and I started doing my stuff, and I never sat back down. So in that case, for me today, it got me out of the chair, and getting us out of the chair can do a lot of things. It can make us money because we get motivated to do what we should be doing. It can, help us to get out of depression. It can help us to exercise. There's so many things that that 5 seconds can really change for us. And I guess sometimes when we don't apply the 5 second rule, we it might be that we're in a depressive state, or it might be that there's something that is too overwhelming for us, and that is why our brain shuts off, or tells us, no, don't do that, you don't want to do that, because it's something that is so overwhelming that we just kind of like check out unless we do something about it. So it's not even like she was saying, it's not like there's even something really that is motivation. It's this mind that is keeping you from so many things. And then you get like, sometimes you get like so off track because you're so overwhelmed. You just keep putting it off. You keep putting it off, whatever it is that you're not wanting to do or that you're afraid to do, or that you're, you might hurt somebody's feelings if you do, but it's for the better of you. Sometimes you get so off track and you feel like, now I can never get back. I can never get back on track. I can never get back to where I want to be. I'm floating out there. I'm lost, type of thing. And so this 5-second rule is something that can hopefully help you to get back on track, and find the power to, to discover the greatness that is in you, that is just right there. If you're one decision away from a completely different life. And whether that is in relationships, if that's in your work, if that's in your maybe it's in your exercise, something like that. Like, I've done that myself, where I know I need to go out for a run. I know the cleansing power of a run for me, mind-wise, and how good I feel, and that I never regret running. But if I sit there and think about it long enough, my mind will, no, it's a little windy, it's just not perfect conditions today, or yeah, you'll do it later, and that it doesn't happen. And even when I've been out running, the mind is such a powerful thing. I can be out running, and if you know me, you know that I've ran miles, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. And you may have seen me out running, it's running and me is tied, and I know, and I've done it so many times, ran 13 miles just for training. Most of my 13-mile runs have been on my own. They actually haven't been in races, because I haven't done that many 13 or half marathon races, but I've trained for them on my own out on the road. And I can be running, and one week I'll do 13 miles, and the next week I'll be just like 10. Is like my mind, if you have something else going on, if you're thinking about other things, if you're not focused on the task at hand, your mind can tell you, I don't know if you're going to make that. I don't think I can do that today. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't think I can make it. Well, yeah, I've done that so many times. I could go out there, any given day and do it. But our mind tries to talk us out of it. Our mind tells us, or tells me, your legs hurt. You're really breathing hard. Are you going to be able to, make it back to your car? It tells you all these things that are so not true. In protection, to protect itself, to protect you from what it thinks is a bad thing that's happening. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a little about that, how powerful our mind is. And if we let it be, it can be very detrimental. Detrimental. I can't say it. You know what I mean? To us, because it can prevent us from, as I said, making money, doing our exercise that keeps us healthy, going to a doctor appointment that we've been putting off that we don't want to do, that could potentially help us, going to the chiropractor. I need to go to the chiropractor so bad, and I keep telling myself, I think it's a little better. There's so many things that I think that if we could use this 5-second rule, that it might prompt us to do better and be better and live healthier lives, and not healthier in the sense necessarily of wellness, health, but in the sense of longer lives, happier, I should say, lives, more productive lives. So anyway, and you cannot count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do it, because that can continue going up. So you can oh, I'll push it to 6. Can't do it. You have to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and take action if you haven't by the 1. So I would encourage you, challenge you to do that, to use that 5-second rule. And again, I got that from Mel Robbins. I've found most of her videos on YouTube. She does have a TV show now, but you have to get it by podcast around here anyway. I haven't found it on any of the channels, and looking at it doesn't look like it's available. Maybe if you have DirecTV or Dish, something like that, but on the MLGC channels it doesn't look like it's available. But anyway, Mel Robbins, look up 5-second rule. That's all you have to Google, and it will hopefully potentially change your life. Thank you. Have a great day.